The internet thought they knew everything: the love, the loyalty, and the betrayal. But tonight, for the first time, Remy Ma finally opens up. No gossip, no rumors, just truth. For years, she and Papoose were hip-hop's definition of real love: unbreakable, loyal, solid through prison walls and industry storms. But when the name Claressa Shields entered the headlines, everything changed. Photos leaked, fans speculated, and silence from both sides fueled the fire even more. Now Remy Ma is ready to tell her story, not as a rapper, not as a wife, but as a woman who lost everything she built for love. What really happened behind closed doors? Was it betrayal or was it growth? Let's go inside the truth the world has been waiting to hear. Before the rumors, before the headlines, before the heartbreak, there was loyalty, real loyalty. Remy Ma and Papoose weren't just a couple. They were a story of survival in an industry where relationships break faster than beats drop. Back in 2008, when Remy was sentenced to prison, everyone said it was over. Careers die in silence. Love fades in distance, that's what they said. But Papoose, he showed up every visiting day. He wrote letters, waited years, and when she finally walked out of that cell, he was standing right there, suit pressed, eyes full of pride, saying, "I told you I'd never leave." That image, that embrace, became one of hip-hop's most iconic moments. People started calling them the Bonnie and Clyde of rap. Every interview, every show, every post screamed real love. They turned loyalty into lyrics, pain into purpose, and the world believed their love could never be touched. But time has its own plans. As Remy's career reignited, she found herself pulled between fame and family, studio sessions, tours, appearances. The same hustle that made her great slowly started to create distance. Papoose was supportive, but deep down, the silence between them started to grow. Then, one night, she saw something she couldn't ignore. A photo, nothing dramatic, just Papoose backstage, at a boxing event, smiling with Claressa Shields, the undefeated champion. At first, it meant nothing. Claressa was family to hip-hop, confident, loud, respected. But then came another photo. Then another. Then the blogs started connecting dots that maybe weren't there, or maybe they were. Remy brushed it off publicly, but privately, she asked the question every woman asks when her peace starts to shake. Are we still us? Days turned into weeks, and the silence between them became heavier. She'd hear whispers at events. Did you see Papoose with Claressa? She'd scroll past fan comments that made her chest tighten. And worst of all, the person she wanted to ask about it was the one she didn't know how to face anymore. But Remy Ma isn't the type to break ice. She stayed silent, watching, learning, preparing. Because silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. And when she finally spoke, she wasn't going to defend herself, she was going to define herself. Part 2, the truth behind the calm 1,000 words. It happened during a live podcast, unexpected, unfiltered, and unplanned. The host asked Remy, "What's your take on all the talk about Papoose and Claressa?" The studio went quiet. The crowd leaned in. Everyone expected her to dodge it. But Remy leaned forward and said, calmly, "I think people forget I'm human before I'm hip-hop." She paused, eyes firm, voice steady. Love doesn't fail overnight. It fades when both people stop showing up. I don't blame anyone. I just accept what it is. The clip hit the internet within hours. Millions of views, thousands of comments, and one universal reaction. She handled it like a queen. Behind the scenes, she was already in motion. A new song, Silent Lessons, was in production, a raw poetic response to everything left unsaid. Lines like, "You can fight the world for someone, but who fights for you? Loyalty's not love when it's only loyal in the light." Fans cried, reacted, related, because for once, the tough Remy Ma wasn't rapping from power, she was rapping from pain. Papoose never denied or confirmed anything publicly. Claressa stayed quiet too, focusing on her fights, refusing to feed the gossip. But Remy's silence said more than their words ever could. In interviews that followed, she never mentioned names, only lessons. Sometimes you love people who aren't meant to stay forever, just long enough to remind you what love should feel like. Her maturity stunned the industry. Instead of breaking down, she broke through. Instead of revenge, she found release. Months later, Remy performed Silent Lessons live, her voice shaky but powerful. At the end, she looked into the camera and said, "To every woman watching, don't ever beg someone to choose you. Choose yourself first." The crowd erupted. It wasn't just a concert, it was therapy in motion. That performance became a symbol of letting go with grace. of healing in public without humiliation. Even critics admitted Remy Ma didn't lose love, she gained legacy. Today, she's working on new music, mentoring young female rappers, and living by one rule: if it costs my peace, it's too expensive. The rumors have faded, the headlines have moved on, but one truth remains: Remy Ma spoke once, and that was all it took. Sometimes, silence tells the whole story. Remy Ma didn't clap back, she rose above, because real strength isn't in what you say, it's in how you carry what you survived. Her story isn't about losing love, it's about finding peace, about understanding that even in heartbreak, there's healing. So, if you've ever stayed quiet when the world wanted noise, this story's for you. Watch till the end, and you'll feel it too. That moment when pain becomes power. Remy Ma's truth isn't just hers, it's every woman's reminder. You can't control who changes, but you can control how you rise.